Hello everyone, today I want to show you a little bit of how the pack from Multiply sounds work. This pack has been honestly a game changer when it comes to editing videos for me. I'm not sure if you watched already, but I recently launched a video called I Was Home. It's basically like a compilation of my favorite moments from Patagonia over the last 2 years. And with this pack, I was able to create the video exactly the way I wanted. Sometimes, as creators and filmmakers, we're so stuck in the idea of the video has to follow the song, and then if you don't choose the right song, the video is not exactly the way you want to be. And with this pack, you can create different ways to accelerate the video or slow down the video and basically create exactly what rhythm you want your video to have. And I'm gonna try to be quick here and show you a little bit of my timeline and how I use these sounds to create the exact flow that I want. So this is my timeline. It looks busy, looks confusing, but actually it's very organized. I know that every one of us have our own workflows, and the way I organize my timeline is simple. The first two tracks I'm using for the sounds that I recorded with the camera. So that's audio 1 and 2. The third is my voiceover. 4 and 5 are like ambient sounds that I added in post. Number 6 is my track from Music Bed. And the last ones, so 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, all these tracks are the assets from Multiply Sounds. So let's jump into the film score very quick. It's separated in 7 sections, right? So you have pads and drones, riffs and melody, rhythms, drums, hits, riser, and transitions. You don't have to be a music engineer or to have any kind of music background to use this pack. This is what impressed me the most. Like honestly, with just watching 1.5 or 2 hour course of the video that they provide, I completely understood like how major key, minor keys, hits, risers, and everything worked without having any kind of music background whatsoever. And well, I'm gonna dive deeper, and you're gonna see why this pack is amazing. So basically, number 1 and 2, so pads, drones, riffs, and melodies are basically the foundation of your track. Pads and drones are very flat, so they're gonna be like literally the foundation of a track. I used one here called Deep Night here on track number 10. I'm gonna play it later. And riffs and melodies, they're also foundations for your song, but they have ups and lows. So let's play something here. Let's do a minor. This is the one I used here, the A7. You can see that it has ups and downs. Whereas the pads, I think I used the Deep Night minor. You can see that it's basically flat. Let me open this a little bit. You can see in the curve here that this is pretty much flat. So again, just the foundation of your track. And I think one point that I missed talking about is that the big difference between these assets and the ones that you can find online. You can also find like hits, transitions, whooshes, and everything in between online. But the thing that the assets from Multiply Sounds, they're all in keys. So depending on which track you have, you're gonna use a different key to match this track. Not necessarily use the same whoosh if your song is in A minor, for example, or if your song is in G or in D. It can work. It does work most of the time, but when you have riser, hits, transitions, drums, and everything in the same key of the music, your video just flows much, much better. So I have my track from Music Bed. It's in B minor. I can easily check here. Most of the music websites nowadays, they have the key of the song. So this one is a B minor. So all the assets that I use, they have to be B minor to match this track. So with this track, I really liked it. It's a beautiful track, but for this video, it wouldn't work 100% for a couple reasons. Number one, I wanted like a longer introduction to introduce the character and make the story kind of established before I start like to put clips on the timeline. So I wanted like kind of 10 seconds, and if I started with the song already from the beginning, I wouldn't have much time to introduce the character and to have like a longer intro and then the title as well. So what I did is I added this from Multiply Sound. The violin basic is, if I'm not wrong, this is like a riff and melody. Yeah, violin basic minor. And then let me open this a little bit more. Then I just started with this one. Let me untoggle these ones. And what I did here, I added a transition. Basically, a transition is a mix between a riser and a hit. So it goes up, it hits, and it goes down. They call it like a melodic transition, and I honestly love them. I used a couple transitions actually. This is a transition, this is a transition, this is a transition, this is a transition also. And you can see that all the assets I have are in B minor. There are also some assets that work both on minor and major keys. So you just have the B, for example, here, but everything is in B. If they work on both, perfect. If not, you have to pick the minor. So what I did here, I started with this foundation here to create my my introduction. Then I added a transition, which is basically kind of like a riser, leading to the moment that the video would start. These are kind of two transitions, and then I started also with a pad that's going to complement my track called Deep Night. And then here, my idea was to have a lot of different kind of like highs and lows moment in the video, and the track itself wouldn't allow me to do that, so I kind of created these moments with these assets. So here you can see that I have I have one riser and one transition, basically two risers, and then I'm gonna play this specific part with the risers, and then I'm gonna play without. So you can see the difference that having these assets can make in your footage. You can really see like how the video kind of like accelerates with fast cuts, and then I'm gonna play without these two, for example, this one. So you can see that it kind of wouldn't make sense to have this kind of fast-paced moment with just the music bed track. See? So having these two, let's play it solo now. These two itself, they can already create this kind of like fast-paced transition that I wanted for this part of the video specifically. Then, well, let's keep playing.
There's something about the mountain.
So this is a hit. A hit is basically when it hits and starts to slow down, and I have a riser again. So this part of the video I really like. I didn't want to have the music bed track here in between. I wanted to have the focus on the voiceover that I had, also some like ambient sounds, and I also lowered my the level of my pad also, because I really want to focus on the voiceover. And this is actually a sentence. Let me open this a little bit more.
Something about the mountain that they say is good for your soul. I say home is not a place. It's where your heart feels its most whole. I remember the way that the wind brushed across my face. That was home.
So this is actually a sentence from this track. I was listening to this track and I was like, I really need to use this on a video of mine.
Worries wash away like the rain. Well, there's something about the mountain there they say is good for your soul. And I say home is not a place, it's where your heart feels its most whole. And I remember the way that wind brushed across my face. I was home, I was home. 'Cause I've been.
So yeah, I really like this song. Music is very big inspiration for me. So instead of putting the song, I created this voiceover with AI in Artlist, which is pretty great. I then added some effects. I did like a low pass filter, and also some distortion. And I really like the way it sounds. It sounds kind of like
a mountain that they say is good for your
kind of like distant radio, some kind of like sci-fi. The way I did is just go to Fairlight page, audio 3, and basically create a 6 band and then just like drag it a little bit further inside, and you can create this kind of like low pass effect. All right, back to the timeline. Then, well, after this break, I wanted the video to have some kind of like fast-paced movement again. So what I did is I added another riser. This one's called Skyfall. And then after the break, you're gonna see that I have some very fast cuts leading to another chill moment.
I remember the way that the wind brushed across my face. That was home.
Then it goes quiet again for a little bit. It's gonna have another moment. This is kind of the last section of the video that I have also another riser and another transition and a hit as well, just to finish the video.
That was home.
So yeah, that's that was a short, but I think I kind of showed you how this pack works. It's pretty amazing, honestly. So yeah, I think that was it for this breakdown. I hope I have showed you the way that these assets work. It honestly has been such a game changer for me. I feel like as a filmmaker, I've always been stuck into finding the perfect song and scrolling for hours and hours and hours until I find the song that had the perfect introduction and the perfect break and the perfect length and stuff. And now if I find a song that I like, kind of like the overall of the song, I know that with these assets I can kind of like build my own song and kind of dictate the rhythm of the video the way I want, instead of being completely stuck in that song. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this breakdown, and catch you on the next one.